Audacity eats up my and thank you. Good morning, everybody. It is 2 a.m. This is Ice Cold. This is episode 4 of the No Pressure Podcast, and it's titled The Spice of Life. Please excuse the quiet talk. My baby girl is sleeping in the back, and I was like, you know what? I got some time. Let's try to get this podcast. And I missed yesterday because I may want to do one Saturday. I don't want to do a big one. I just want to do no more than 30, 45 minutes. I'll save the hour ones for something important. But let's see. What we talking about? What we talking about? All right. So, like I said, the title of the podcast tonight is Spice of Life. I'm just gonna talk about my approach to some variety streaming, just to let you know what's in store in terms of that. And I think if I can, I'm gonna talk a little bit about some Borderlands 3 today in regards of the nerf that happened, which that's expected for any game nowadays. Shoot, the last 4 years. And if I even have even more time, we'll talk about I guess to talk about Zane, how they're saying that he's not broken, but he's not in-game material, which I think is interesting. I may actually save that for Saturday or next week. I think my next few podcasts might just be sitting around Borderlands because it's a fresh game and people can relate to it, and I'm playing it, so I could put my 2 cents into it. As always, I'm gonna do a quick recap of what my last podcast was, which last podcast was a redux of last Tuesday. Excuse me. But last podcast was 3.5, which was I was talking about how I was trying to stream. I was trying to podcast and play a game just for variety mix and just to have something up there. Didn't work out. Did 3.5 when I just podcast and just talked what I had to talk about, which was the direction and expectation of the podcast. Also, I talked about my initial impressions of Borderlands 3. Nothing fantastic, which I love the game. It has its issues in regards of I think just soft no graphically the frame rate's kind of funky at times, which I have noticed. A lot of people have talked about nerfing and the balance, which a game like that, you have to balance it to some degree to have some fun with it. And the two characters I played so far is Zane, which is my solo character. He's up to level 31. As of this podcast, he was about 25 last week. And Amara is getting up there. She is 15, which I'm always a siren. I always mean that. She's fun. I tried to go a different route with Zane, and Zane has been pretty cool. So I don't. I'm trying to think of. I guess I could see. He's a tough character, probably for like solo bosses. So I haven't gone that far yet. I haven't had any issues. People have been jumping at 15. I'm at 30. I'm having a ball with them. All right, recap's over. Let's talk about topic number one. So, this is gonna be a focus on me. I'm gonna be talking about the stream and the direction I've gone, which I've always planned to do, is a variety stream. I can't focus on one game because I've never played a game like that. I mean, I have a favorite game that I always go back to, but as a streamer, I couldn't see myself doing that. So I wouldn't, focus on like I love PUBG, but I could not see myself just playing that game hours and hours and hours. I kind of wish I did so I could get better, but we gotta have about the batteries. But I've always played a variety of games. Whether that was an RPG, an action adventure, my voice might be way too low in OBS. Um, racing, action adventure, comedy, you know, something dramatic, telltale type games. I love those games. I need to play more. Borderlands is a big favorite. I will be playing that a lot. But after I beat the campaign, I'm gonna go more lax and jump back to my platformers and my RPG type games. And I want to get more into that, so I'm going to try to find a pattern where I'm switching it up. Play me a first person shooter, change it up to a more colorful and fantastical type game. Maybe jump back into like a Dark Souls type game, which the Surge and Dark Souls. Surge 2 just came out. And I had started Surge 1 months ago, maybe even a year ago. And I remember, I think something just happened and I fell off of it. I didn't want to play any games that involved a whole lot of my time. So I was like, you know what, I'll just put the Surge on the back burner, come back, and I've played like 25 different games since then. But I'm going to get into a good rotation. Like I said, Borderlands is going to be up there a lot, especially every other weekend when I play my cousin. That's that's just gonna be. I'm gonna try to burn through it these next. Oh man, if I could get it, because I don't have that much. I don't have that much time, so I could get it done maybe this weekend. I like to do a little bit of farming in between, try to get some good guns for the end game, or at least to make things a little bit easier. Which I found a torque laser torpedo. That's been at least when you go against bandits and anything doesn't have any shields, it melts everybody. So if I can find one of those with electricity or acid, yeah, I'm good. I think, and just find me some good guns for the end game boss, I'll be all right. So Borderlands is going to be a mainstay for a hot minute. I'm going to be doing some couples co-ops with my girlfriend. Hopefully in October we could get that in a good rotation. I've decided Wednesday and Thursdays, maybe Thursdays, and that's gonna be a lot of variety. We'll still most likely finish a game on stream, especially if I'm getting a lot of viewers and people are asking for it. Either way, I'll probably record it. If not, we'll play it on our off time. So we'll play a different game. She has a list, I have a list, and we're gonna be a lot of focus on single co-op and maybe some co-streams where we have to be online to play. So yeah, I basically thought if you were ever to watch, he couldn't expect me to be like, okay, he's playing this one game and that's what he's gonna be known for. I want to be known more for doing a lot of variety, not just one genre and one game in that genre, or just yeah, like I said, one genre. So I want to be doing like battle royales and playing that. I want to play some campaign in Battlefield. I want to play some multiplayer in Battlefield. I want to play Bastion. I want to play. I played Guacamole. That was fun. That's a side scroll. I want to play side scroll. I want to play different games. So I'd rather be known just for. I'd rather fit in that group because I've seen a lot and I really appreciate them. One week they're playing Assassin's Creed. The only bad thing is for me is that once again you'll hear me say this for a while until I get more of it, and that's just time. I have Saturday and Fridays where I game the most. Thursdays, if you do couch co-op, you'll see something else, and sometimes Tuesdays. So I have maybe 3 days and a few hours of that. Saturdays I could get at least between 6 to 8 hours in, and Fridays, depending on what's going on, I get the same amount. So I do have some opportunity to kind of burn through games, but I can't. If I had at least 4 or 5 days to myself of gaming, it'd be different. I could split up a little bit, play a couple hours of this, and then a game that I want to see finished and played through. So I'm just gonna work the best I can. Just like I said, expect once I finish a game, like I said, if it's especially if it's campaign driven, you're gonna have to see a different game. And Xbox Quest Rewards has a pretty good motivation for me to try new games. So I might play Minecraft one day to try it out. If I like it, it could go into the rotation. And with Game Pass, there's a lot of games on there, indie games, AAA games that I want to try. Not so many sports games I don't really care about, but I do want to. Whatever's on the quest, I kind of want to check it out, at the very least. I hate starting games and not finishing, but sometimes you gotta do that. So that that was pretty much the top. That's pretty much topic one. I think like that was just a straightforward what to expect in the stream, and that might change. Let's see, we'll be putting in hours of the game. So yeah, all right. Topic two. Topic two would probably be the meteor topic, and that's gonna be some Borderlands 3 news. I should have brought up some web pages. To maybe I can just hold tight. But I'll talk what I can about it, and that is the big thing I want to talk about was the Borderlands 3 nerf of the loot rate. From what I've read and seen, Mayhem 3 was it's pretty much where everything's increased, the rates increased. I don't know the percentages, maybe I could find that, but the percentage of finding legendaries is increased, and of course it's balanced by harder enemies. Borderlands 3 Automat.com. Just Borderlands 3 news. So the reason why I bring it up is because I see a lot of articles stating how some players, not some, but maybe a lot of players, who knows, it might be a majority, but a lot of players are upset at that they nerfed it, which of course they brought it down. So, and I don't think it was that bad. I actually don't think it's a bad idea because it's you take I think you're taking the fun out of it. You know, you're doing all this. All you're doing is sitting in one spot and you're just farming and farming and farming, which farming is fun. But it's not. I don't see what's the point of farming if all you're doing is just gathering legendaries. And it's like it was like what 6, 7. I saw a picture of one, and it had to been at least. I'm being very generous with this one, but at least 25 legendary stars on the map. Like, I mean, first of all, you have to go, like, you have to sift through all that, and I just can't see the fun of that. So I don't see why. I can almost see why if you haven't had the time to exploit it, which I've done that, but I'm very picky about that. I don't like to exploit too much because I don't want to not have fun. If I do all this and I'm just breezing through the game, I've got every legendary off gate, then what is the point? So I just find that funny that a lot of players are upset that it's getting there, especially people that have already been farming it. Like, how many more guns do you need? And if you think about it, it's gonna be more guns after this. This is just the first 2, 3 weeks. We still have shit, seasons. It's a season PS. Excuse me, a season pass for this game. So these billions of guns they're talking about, it's legit. And I don't see what's the point of getting mad at the fact that they nerfed it, now I can't get the gun, a gun that you already have. What's like? It's fun. It's funny. I remember playing Borderlands 2 and we did a nerf, not nerf, but we did farming. Like, I don't think there was a big exploit except for only exploit I remember taking advantage of was when I was playing Destiny 1 and there was that cave. Yeah, I did that one, and it wasn't like I got like the top tier guns. It was just cool to get some gems. That means I could either sell it or I'll use it depending on how cool it was. So I find it funny. I find it entertaining how upset players get nowadays. Some players, not all the players. There's and teach their own. That's your bag. That's your bag, man. I just I can't do it. So I think the loot rates were, let's see, the loot tank on Eden 6. Apparently there was one there, and you could just pretty much have it respawn wherever you want to. And the chupacabras, which I just now found that. I've been going to freaking Athena, looting, trying to farm Captain Trump several times, and I walked right by that every time. And I just found him. I actually got a pretty good gun from him. No, I got a TK wave, which I'm not fond of. I kept it just in case I might need it for something. But I'm not. Nah, I think I got that and a shield. Kind of want to put my game up and see what did I get. But I'm only 25, so I'm kind of playing around with the legendaries. I don't. I mean, I remember I want to keep it because it's a legendary, but nowadays, I just be like, hmm, don't like it. Sell it. I don't have space for that in my backpack. I don't need space for my vault. Get rid of it. And if it's too low of a level, I kind of save it for my next character so they can have a better run through. All right, Borderlands 3 news. My cousin, he plays as Mose. Mose is his duos with me, and it's Mose and Amara for when we play. I'm solo Zane. He's solo Flack, which I think Flack is supposed to be. Flack is Bay. Flack is Bay. He's before everything else. Okay, here we go. Borderlands. Oh, I didn't want Borderlands.com. Boo. Tell you what, I'll type in Nerf. It's a Zane Nerf. See, okay, what's the other thing I want to talk about? The exploits really make the game fun. Okay, yeah, and I touched on this. Like, the point of the game is to have the journey. Exploits. That's why I say I don't really touch them too much. I want to enjoy what this person created. And that being said, it, you it's cool when you earn the super gun, and now all you gotta do is find it. But maybe you had to kill that boss 5 times. Maybe you had to go through that level, which I'm not a fan of that because some of them levels are huge. But you go through that level, you're fighting, you get that drop, you're like, oh yes, now, now it's on. They use that exact same weapon and you farm them again until you find maybe like a secondary. But if you exploit, it's like using a cheat code. So I guess I would say if you already beaten the game, like all the modes, you did it legit, then yeah, that's your god mode. But if the game's been out since September 13th, 2 weeks, and you're mad that they made it the way they wanted to, which wasn't to have the super duper exploit even known, then of course they're gonna nerf it because that wasn't the way it was meant to be. Hence the exploit. you know. Um, I just find no, I come from an older time of gaming where it's like every game was hard, and I wasn't really good at those games. But it was fun whenever I did get the chance to beat them. Like maybe if I could go back and play some more Nintendo games, see if I could get that accomplishment, that'd be cool. But I was young, I quit, and then there's a lot of games that I came back to and finally beat. It's like, okay, I get it. This was all what it's all about. I wouldn't want to buy. First of all, if you spend $60 and then you just burn through it because you had a cheat or an exploit that you found or someone told you about, what was the point? But that might be first world stuff right there because um, I barely buy games that's new anyway. Me and my cousin went in on this, and I only buy games that are on sale. And I still don't want to be like, well, I'm gonna burn through this game if I have to cheat. If I had to cheat, you lost. What's the point? What's the point of playing the game? Stop playing the game. Just do something else. Or you just don't want to be. If you don't want to be challenged, hey, that's cool. I get it. I get the concept. I couldn't see myself being all right, spend about 40, $60 now. I'm going to put in this hack and beat the game because you get the accomplishment in itself is to earn the game. Like it's not like you get money. It's not like I'm talking about real money. It's not like you get recognized for it. It's not like you really went right over the whole point of whatever the challenge was. I'm off my soapbox on that. I just can't agree that how people could be mad about that. Let's see. What was I talking about? I think I had some things that they want to talk about BO3 in regards of some patch fix suggestions. Oh yeah, main thing was like if you could skip cutscenes, but I hear after you beat the campaign with a character you could beat it. I think that should be an option regardless. If you have to for whatever reason put that in there, maybe the first character you beat the game with has to sit through the tutorial and the cutscenes and yada yada yada. But once you beat that game, you should be able to unlock a option, and it shouldn't even be like that. You should just have the option regardless. But for seeing some reason that they want it in here, but once you beat the game, you should have that option to no matter who you pick, if they're starting new level one or whatever, skip those cutscenes. Because as much as I love BO3, once you get the story, that's it. You know. I don't need to hear it again. Some parts are funny. A lot of parts are funny. Yeah, I get that, but the non-skippable thing, that a lot of it's in game, which they're slick about. It's not like it's a cutscene. It's a in-game cutscene. So you you get the feeling that you can't skip it because you're in the game. Skip that shit. I'm tired of it. Stop. But I get it. And a big thing is the pain sound, which I think they have shortened. But if your character gets hit by an element, they they respond in kind. So they're like, if they're shocked, if they're on fire, or whatever, there's this pain scream that they have. And if it's on you, it's they keep doing it. Fucking annoying. Stop it. Other than that, I'm fine. The graphics, I know they're gonna fix that pretty soon. I have an Xbox One X and I still have some issues, but they said like even on the PC, it's not running like the way it should. So after they did the little hot fix in regards to the nerfing, I believe a patch should be coming up soon. Soon, probably this week. I wouldn't be surprised. How? Oh, here's how big the Borderlands 3 map is. Oh, oh my. And there is another thing I want to talk about, and that is about my boy Zane. So they say Zane is not. He's in game weak. Some people are disappointed in Zane's late game. And I like Zane. I'm trying to figure out how different he is than maybe Roland or Axton. Because that's the type of player he is. He's got the turret. And the drone flies around. The drone is beast. The drone is beast, I tell you. Let me see something. Oops. Restream IO70. I didn't push enter, but okay, cool. That works. Alright, some BO3 players believe that one member of the game's roster of four playable characters is a bit of a lemon. Turns out Zane is kind of a lousy performer when it comes to surviving in the post-game challenges. Let's see. He's not unusable. His shortcomings have already become a meme, which I haven't seen. But I'm not into the gaming community like that, I guess. Hmm. And they don't. In this article, which article is this from? Forbes? No, this is Kotaku. I don't really get an explanation of specifically what makes him weak in the late game. They just said what makes him interesting makes him weak, but they don't tell you what it does. Let's see. They say he's more tactical minded. Some people are working their way against it, which I think if you just do your build right, you can make him. Um, you can make him in a dang. What's the word I'm looking for? But you can make him a worthy opponent, a worthy ball hunter. Dun, dun, dun. Then it starts talking about. See, this is why I don't like reading internet articles too. Who's this by? Joshua Rivera, which I can't criticize too much. I just know what I like to read, and sometimes these articles just come off as filler. Let's see. Okay, now he said he chose Zane as his main. I'm feeling a little burned. Starts to play a loose shooter. I'm not leveled high enough to have anything close to a good in-game build from yet. But I'm already starting to feel the pinch. Zane's not good at surviving or dealing enough high impact damage. Hmm. This is one article. I might have to do some more research, but they don't talk about it, so I can't really put this into the argument. But what I will say this: if it is a valid thing, I feel like they don't say he's broken, so maybe he's just a more difficult character. They used to not too long ago, people used to have you had an easy character, had like a mid-range character, and sometimes you had a more harder character that you just had to make work. Like you had to really figure out and bring out some ingenuity with it. I think Zane is probably that character. I don't know why people are saying that he's disappointing. I mean, he could be just hard. Not to say I'm trying to defend if he is a broken character, but no one said he's broken. He's just not in-game material. I just don't know how. He has a barrier. You buff up the barrier, make it so that way. I wish I could. I need to look through his skill set. I can make that barrier last longer outside of the skill, which if you kill something that adds an extra percentage, because his shield will go down before the drone. The drone will stay up for a hot minute, and if you combo that with his deployment, where he just firebombs, and if he kills something, he resets. I think that's got a little counter to it, so that way you can't keep doing. I think you're gonna do it once per deployment. Well, I've had my drone out for at least he's been out for a minute or two. At this point, especially there's a lot of enemies. So I can see that for a boss. If there's not enough things to shoot and kill, then the drone is gonna be, it's gonna be a distraction at the most. But you can switch them out. You know, the barrier itself is pretty cool because not only can you drop it down, you can pick it up, and it's a really good lifesaver. So, and the respawn is not too bad. And then you just have to, find a way to build it so that way you can respawn it faster. So I don't know. I'm definitely gonna play Zane through with the end along with Amara, since he is my solo character. He's gonna be done first. I don't. I've defeated one vault so far. And plus, if you have a good gun, you don't even have anything to worry about. I don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But we're gonna see. This podcast was, like I said, just talking about Borderlands 2. And I think most, probably the rest will, depending on what comes up. I said that earlier, but I don't think I will have too much more to talk about. Not unless something big comes out. Zane being weak, I'm gonna try. Okay, I would probably do. I'll probably do like a progress where I'm talking about my next, because I'm at level 30, so I got 20 more levels to get to 50, and I think I'm maybe more than halfway done with the story or less. That game is huge in terms of getting through things, and I do a lot of side missions too, so that adds another hour or two, depending on how many I got stocked up. So I'll what I do is probably do like a 5 or 10 minute talk about how I'm feeling about Zane and his, and if I can compare with Amara, but that's gonna be difficult because I play her every other week with my Kazo. Uh, but yeah, I think that's gonna do it for today. This was just I didn't have too much to talk about, but I talked about it. Feel pretty good about it. I think I think BO3 is gonna be a main game, but after I beat it, I'm gonna go back into my kind of regular rotation. Get a little PUBG in there. It's been about 2 weeks since I played that, so I'm gonna get some kills on with that. I got Bastion on the back burner. I almost done with that. I want to finish that game before I go back to Space Bastards and Outer Worlds, I think. And I'm still trying to solve that mission. I need to stop going to. Wait, I'll talk about that another podcast. So yeah, I think we're getting it right there. So yeah, that's gonna be the plan. If I do one Saturday, I might not even have to do one Saturday. I might just do one till next Tuesday, guys. But if you want to check them out, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Mixer.com and on Twitch. This is live right here on all three of those platforms. I will get it so that way I can have the links up. I'll have the links up so that way if you come to one, you get to all. If you want, if you prefer a certain one. But that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you for stopping by. This was Ice Code's No Pressure Podcast. This was episode 4, The Spice of Life, and we just talked about my approach to some variety streaming that I want to do. We talked about some Borderlands news in regards of loot nerfing and exploiting exploits in games in general, which that's going to be a big topic when I go to season 1. And we just talked a little bit about how some characters think Zane might be a disappointment in a weak game, which I think he just might be a more difficult character. He used to be like proud for, like, you know what, I picked the weakest so-called character or the most difficult one, and I made that build work. And that might be the case. And people outcry enough, Gearbox is going to probably buff him up in some way, which I'm open to. I just don't want to be too much. I don't want him to be like One Punch Man. And that's what they say. They say all the other three are just OP. If you have to say they're already OP instead of if you do this and this is how you make them work, then yeah, I don't see no fun in that. So I usually don't be the most, I'm gonna take the hard road, but I think Zane's gonna be the most fun. I like the shield. I want to use the clone a little bit more when I have some people to play with. But clone drone shield, not clone, barrier and drone. I like that combo. But anyway, guys, that is it. I'll most likely see you next Tuesday with episode 5, hopefully. I'll work on my outline for that. And everybody, please have a great morning. Ice Cold out.